Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's matchup between CRU and Emmanuel Lutheran High School. I'll be your commentator for tonight, Uriah Wales, and we're looking forward to a good JV and C-team game. C-team game first. The middle school teams have already played, and the result was CRU wins in the third game. And now we are getting ready for C-team. Just some lineup checks. Finalizations just to get stuff set up. I think everything's ready now. We're starting. Opening serve coming from CRU will be Aubriella O'Neill. Good clean hit. Ullman receives it. And Schierenbeck can't get it up to the net. It was kind of a low bump from teammate Kern. So O'Neill serving again. Kern there to receive, but nobody is there to receive her bump. Second point now for CRU to start the game off. Miscommunication there on the Lancers' backside. So CRU with a third point now. Up 3-0 early. Schierenbeck. Ullman's going to try getting it over from the back, but that is no good. And that's a fourth point for CRU. And that'll actually get caught in between the post supporting the net and the official stand. Fifth point for CRU. O'Neill keeping it strong with some good serving early on. And a timeout is going to be called. So, looking early into this game, we've got CRU up 5-0. And head coach Jill Tiefel of the Lancers is having a talk with the girls, trying to get them warmed up. Might just be that they haven't gotten enough time in yet, and they'll be ready eventually. Just to let you know, our starting lineup for the Lancers is Kern, Ullman, and Schierenbeck in the back line. Willits, Schaller, and Bauer up front. Meanwhile, for CRU, it's O'Neill, Dillerman, and Bailey in the back. Up front is Swenson, Nelson, and Hintgen, I believe. Wait, nope, number 9. Our first good volley from the Lancers. Looked like they could have gotten something going there, but that'll eventually be won by CRU. And Schierenbeck can't get up there in time. Willits isn't going to go for it. Another ace from O'Neill. Lancers trying to see if they can get in their first serve this game in these next couple points. This is a good high lob. Ullman can't quite get there in time. 8th CRU point. Ullman there to return the serve. Good high bump. And Bauer's going to get it over. And that'll be another point called for CRU. In subbing now is Ullman for Bauer. And that's going to be a foot fault on O'Neill. That may have saved the Lancers here early on in this first game, as now it's their chance to serve. And serving first will be Schoenbeck. She's been playing in a couple of the other C-team games recently and had some good serving. But this first serve is going to be a bad contact. The Lancers will be on the board, but it's more serving now, this time from number 9. Looks to go far. Omen won't return it, but it stays in bounds by about 2 feet. That's a good clean ace. Kern will bump it way out of bounds into the bleachers. Point number 12 for CRU, up by 11 right now. CRU's got some dominant serving from the looks of this first game. Received by Kern, but she isn't back far enough to bump it, and so she'll bump it almost out of the door. It'll stay inside, but that'll be another point for CRU, putting them up by 12. Now Clokey is subbing in for Kern. Shaw's there to return the serve, but she'll bump it the wrong way and out of bounds. And that's another point for CRU. Omen, good return. Willits almost gets it over, but it's no good. Couldn't quite get the power return on that to get it over. And that'll be a disappointing 5th point for CRU. 15th, sorry. Olmenson's gonna get it over. And that's going to be a good, sweet point for the Lancers. Wood serving now. And unfortunately for the Lancers, that'll be a good bump to return the serve from number 9. And they're up 16-2. CRU is. Now we've got Swenson serving. Ullman's gonna maybe take that opportunity to receive the serve away from Willits. And so that'll be a miscommunicated point and gonna go to CRU, 17-2. Clokey is gonna get it over. And that's a good save from number 9. Willits now. Shaw's gonna try getting it over, but she'll contact it poorly and they'll go underneath the net. 18-2. Lancers started to get something going there. And CRU is happy to get a chance to go for a volley. Olmenson gets it over. And that's going to be sent over by Nelson. Schaller with a good spike to the back line. And number 6, Bailey, will cross the line on an attempted spike over. And so Lancers point. 18-3 now, only down by 15. Olmenson serving. This one's going to fly into the net. Looks like it had power, but it didn't have the arc that it needed. Point number 19 for CRU now. And Nelson is serving. Another lefty server for CRU. CRU only needs 5 points now to close out this first game. Bumped over by Schoenbeck. Ullman's in there to set the return. Now Schaller bumping it over herself. That's going to be sent over by O'Neill. Schoenbeck again. We've got a good volley going here. Ullman's in with the bump. And that'll barely squeak over, but it gets bumped back over onto the Lancers side. 4 to go now for CRU. This serve from Nelson's going to come up short and bounce underneath the net, so now it'll be Schaller serving. Good serve from Schaller, barely bounces on the line, but they're up to 5 points now. This is looking a bit like their game Thursday against the Whitehall C team. It ended 25-6, but then they turned it around to win the last 2 games of the set. And that's another point from Schaller now. And Bauer looking to come in for Ullman. And she will do that to join Willits and Schaller on the back line. This one, couple feet out wide from Schaller, and so now it'll be 22-6. CRU only needs 3 more. And now serving for CRU, it'll be Bailey. Bailey with a very high serve, almost kisses the ceiling of the gym there. O'Neill gonna spike it over. And a good clean contact, meaning that Schaller won't be able to save it, and that'll go out, giving CRU 2 points to go. Bailey is serving again. Ullman taps it over, and that'll fall right in front of the net on Chippewa Valley's side. And now it's Clokey serving for the Lancers. Very solid serve there, plenty of power on it. And a miscommunication between Dilleman and Bailey will mean that the Lancers will get another point there. Clokey again. Received by Swenson, but a couple of weaker bumps from CRU will mean that'll be another point for the Lancers, hoping to go double digits here in this first game. Clokey again really likes serving to that back right corner. And number 9 is going to fail to get it over the net. Hits the top white line, but that'll be another Lancer point. Double digits now. And this one's going to go 4 or 5 feet out of bounds to the right side. And CRU just needs 1 serve now to win this. It'll be Dilleman serving. And Ullman's almost going to hit a fan in the stands with that one. That'll be CRU's 25th point to win this first game and put them up 1-0 in the set. We'll be back in a few minutes to give the players a break. See you then. Now for the second game of the set. CRU won the first one 25-10. In the back for the Lancers will be Pfeiffer, Clokey, and Omen. Front is Schoenbeck, Hamilton, and Ullman. Back for the Chippewa Valley CRU is Swenson. Hold up. Swenson, Winsand, and Nelson. And up front is O'Neill. I've got number 9's name now. It's Violet Tresher. So Tresher. And they just shifted. But it was Dillman. Dillman's serve comes up short. Now it'll be 1-1. Lancers are serving. Ullman now with the serve. That's a nice save there by CRU. And Ullman can't get it over. CRU is going to get put up by 1 now to start off the second game. Serve from O'Neill. She had a good serving start in the first game. But first, in will be her subbing in for Nelson. O'Neill now. Good serve received by Ullman, but she'll bump it out of bounds. Hamilton can't get a good clean bump on that serve, so that'll be another ace for O'Neill, up 4-1. Hamilton is gonna try setting that one over, but it's too close to the net. And she can't get the angle into it that she wants, so that's going to come up inside of the net. And 5th point for CRU. Lancers down 6-1 now, and CRU will be serving once again. O'Neill is looking to be a pretty consistent server here for the C team. High serve to the back line, received by Ullman. Ullman's gonna try bumping it over from the back, but she can't get the right angle on it, and so that one's gonna bounce out of bounds. Seven points now for CRU. Thompson gonna have to spin to bump that one, and she will bump it into Lancer's bench. 8-1. Good set from Schoenbeck, means Pfeiffer will be able to bump it over. That's her with a bump over for CRU. O'Neill will receive the bump from Schoenbeck, and her will send it over once again. Ullman's going to try bumping it over, but that one's going to get up into the rafters and into Emmanuel's student section. And good volley, but that will fall in favor of CRU, up 9-1 now. Ullman's going to be able to spike down over. And an impressive effort there from CRU, but it's to no avail, as that'll be the second Lancers point for this game. Hamilton now is serving. And Abigail Pfeiffer can't quite get up there to the top of the arc and won't be able to spike it over as a result. Point number 10 for CRU. Looks like we're getting a sub from them. Out is Winston, in is Bailey. Serving now is Tresher. This one's gonna fall barely out of bounds, a couple inches to the left, and that would have been good for CRU. But be Lancer's point, and Schoenbeck is serving. Let's see if she can make up for her unfortunate serve in the first game. And out is Tresher, in now is Samara for the first time tonight. Absolute laser of a serve from Schoenbeck. And that'll be an ace for the Lancers. Down by 6 now. Pfeiffer now is coming in for Omen. Never mind, not for Omen, for Schaller. That's the second ace for Schoenbeck now. She's got to be pretty happy about that. Down by 5 is the Lancers, and they might be starting to get on a roll here. And that'll be a set over from her, but that one will go wide left. Third point now coming from Schoenbeck serving. The Lancers are starting to look pretty good here. Let's see if they can keep this going. Impressive set of bumps there by CRU. And Hamilton is not able to receive it. So that'll be the first point for CRU. And a couple volleys. Serving now Swenson. Schoenbeck will bump that one over backwards. And that'll fall right in the middle of all 6 of CRU's players on the court right now, turning that into another Lancer point. Down by only 4, 7-11. Ullman serving. Sent over by Bailey. Ullman with a nice dig there. And Clokey is gonna tap that one over the net. Good jump from her. Means that the Lancers will now be down by 3. Ullman's second serve. And that one's going to be an attempted dig. Attempted dig by 3 of CRU's players. But that'll go off of Swenson's forearm into the net. Ullman with a deep serve. Sent over by Bailey. Clokey now. And Pfeiffer is going to be able to set that one over thanks to a good-looking set from Schoenbeck. Bit of a scoreboard mistake there. Lancers were given 4 points by accident. It's been fixed now. And Ullman's serve, bit unclean contact, and that'll be another point for CRU. They're up by 2, and it's their turn to serve once again. Caden Turner now serving. Never mind, she's not serving. Instead, that'll be Avery Nelson coming in for her to serve. Nelson now just inside the side of the lane. And that serve's gonna come up short. Cloaky now serving. She had a good run at the end of the last game, and let's see if that'll put the Lancers in a good spot here, or will CRU be up ahead? Respectable attempt from Swenson there, but that'll come up just short, and so that'll be the Lancers tying it up 12-12 now. Received by Samaro. Nice spike over from O'Neill. Miscommunication between Ullman and Omen. I know, pretty similar names there. And CRU will take their lead once again. CRU calling for a sub. In will be Tresher, and out will be Samaro. Serving now is Bailey. Pfeiffer gonna bump that one right over. Schoenbeck, Cloaky, and Pfeiffer all had a chance there, but none of them wanted to go for it, and so that'll fall right in the middle of all of them. And CRU will happily take another point here. And Pfeiffer's gonna try bumping that one over, but it was a bit too far in front of her. She couldn't get to it, and so that'll come up into the middle of the net. CRU up by 3 once again. Cloaky there to easily receive that one. But neither Pfeiffer or Schoenbeck could decide who was gonna go for it. Another miscommunication means the Lancers will give up another point, and CRU will be up 4. This serve is going to fall into the left side of the net, looking from CRU's side. Now serving for the Lancers will be Pfeiffer. Once Winsand is in and Bailey is out. Pfeiffer with an underhanded serve. This looks good, but that'll be an ace for the Lancers. Down 2, 16-14. Pfeiffer's got another serve here. Another ace from Pfeiffer means that the Lancers will be down by 1. O'Neill gonna receive that serve and set over from Tresher. Another miscommunication by the Lancers means that Pfeiffer's serving run will be stopped. And now serving for CRU is Dillerman. This one's gonna barely squeak over the net. 18th point now for CRU. Looking to close it out, they've got 7 to go. The Lancers have 10. This one's gonna come up way short and hit the right post of the net. And Zoe Ullman now serving for the Lancers. Down by 2. This one's going to fly into teammate Hamilton's hands. Comes up well short of the net. CRU's happy to be serving once again, as now it's O'Neill starting off each volley now, and she's been looking pretty good tonight. Cloaky and Ullman can't decide who's going to bump it, so they both will. And Pfeiffer's going to come back trying to save it, and Ullman can't get it over the line. And now it's her once again, and now it'll be Nelson. O'Neill serving with only 5 points to go to win the set. Schoenbeck's gonna send it over. And Swenson can't get it quite over the line, and Tresher is unable to do so herself, trying to back up Swenson, so that'll be another point for the Lancers. Hamilton serving. Good bump back over there by her. Schoenbeck's going to send it over, but that'll be inbounds. Right on the line. Down by 2 now. Lancers trying to keep it close to keep themselves from losing the set and going into a third game. Let's see if they can do it, or will CRU go 2-0 and win tonight. This one sneaks over the line, and O'Neal isn't able to get the dig there to save it. Lancer point now, down by only 1. Omen with a bad set means that CRU has 4 to go. Lancers have 6. Serving now is Tresher. Deep serve into the very back corner. Impressive ace there. And CRU is going to be happy about that one, as it means they only have 3 to go now. JV team coming out for the Lancers now. Tresher with another deep serve. Pfeiffer's going to manage to bump this one over. Schoenbeck there to receive it. Omen can't set it over. Just doesn't have the height to get it. And the bad angle results in CRU having only 2 to go now. Tresher looking to close it out here with a couple more serves. Schoenbeck there to receive the serve. Clokey is going to bump it over. Her going to bump it over, but that'll go out as she got interfered with a bit by Bailey. And Lancers serve. Schoenbeck serving once again. And out now is Tresher, and in will be coming Samaro. CRU really wants to win this one. Makes the night that much shorter for them. Schoenbeck with another high-flying serve. Bailey is going to try bumping it over, but that's going to come up short. Lancers down by 2 now. They only have 4 to go. Serving from Schoenbeck again. This one's going to go to the very back line and get caught up in the ceiling. And O'Neal will bump it too far in front of Bailey for her to get it over. Lancers down by 1. Schoenbeck serve. Nice reception by Samaro, and Bailey will bump that over easily. Pfeiffer gonna spike it over. Swenson with a good set. And Omen can't get there. Omen can't get there to pick up Hamilton's bump now. CRU, one more serve to end the set, and this will be coming from Swenson. Hamilton with a bad set there. She was going to be pretty disappointed about that one, but CRU's C team is going to come home happy with a win against the ILHS Lancers. And it looks like we're going to get another 3-minute break until these C teams will play a third game. Might be doing best of 5 here. I'm not quite sure. Something similar to this happened against Whitehall. I don't know if the rules were changed this year or something, but I don't remember any of this happening last year. So I guess we'll see you again in 2.5 minutes now. Keep enjoying your night, guys. Welcome back to the third game of tonight's C team best of 5 from what I believe. O'Neill will start off serving. Kern there to receive the serve. Bauer's going to get it over. Willits with a nice tap over there. Miscommunication by the Lancers gives CRU the first point in this third game. O'Neill now. Sheeran back there to receive the serve. And Schalller's going to bump that out of the back end of the Lancers side of the court. Point number 2 for the CRU. O'Neill with the serve here. Kern there to receive it. Willits is going to bump it over. O'Neill with the nice set into the back row. Treasure going to bump that one over. Another miscommunication by the Lancers. The CRU got another point here. O'Neill with another serve. This one flies high. Kern there to receive it. And Schoenbeck will set it over. Willits manages to tap it over. Nice save there by the Lancers back half, as Schoenbeck is able to set it backwards over the net. We got a good volley going here by both sides. And that'll be Lancers' point, putting them on the board now in this third game. Some impressive play there by both sides. That looked quite good. Schaller gonna bump that one over to CRU side. Kern is going to go for the dig there, but can't quite get underneath that, and will bump that one out of bounds towards their bench. Treasure now serving. It's a good clean serve. Schaller manages to bump down over backwards. And that is Nelson. And there to receive it. That's a good spike there by Schaller. Tresser gets caught kind of unaware, and that'll slip through her hands to bounce off of her chest, and that will fall to the ground. Willett serving now. Tresser to receive it. And that's going to be a lift on Schaller. Completely understandable call there. I was just so far down, and she went for the set. But that'll be another point for CRU, up 5-2. Swenson serving now. Too far back for Scherenbeck to try setting it over. CRU 6 point. Swenson with the powerful serve there. Willits isn't able to do anything about it. Another point now for CRU. Swenson serving again here. Kern there to receive it. And Schaller will bump that one over backwards. Sent over by Nelson. And that's Schaller again. Received by O'Neill. Bailey is going to try spiking that one over. But it'll fall into the top of the net. And that'll be another point for the Lancers here. Bauer now is serving. I believe this is the first time she's served tonight. Received by O'Neill, and Nelson will set that one over. Miscommunication. Scherenbeck probably should have gone for that one, but she didn't even move. And so that'll be another easy point for CRU. Nelson's serve will come up short. And Schaller is serving now. Good powerful serve to Tresser. Bailey is going to bump that one over. Bauer's there to receive it. And Bailey was going to go for it, but O'Neill got psyched out, and so she's not able to bump it over, and will instead set it to CRU's side of the bleachers. And Schaller is serving again. Down 3, 8-5. Swenson there to get a dig. And that is a nice bump back over from Swenson. Willits can't get there in time, right in the middle of all Lancers players. And that'll be a CRU point. In subbing now for Bailey will be Winston. Coach giving her some tips over from the sideline. And this serve is going to come up just barely short. Looks clean. Just not enough power behind it. And Lancers serving now is Kern. This serve is going to go way high and into the ceiling. And CRU is going to get a point without even touching the ball there. Samira was going back to serve, but instead in will be coming Dilliman to serve in her place. Up by 4 is CRU. They're in the double digits right now. Overhand serve by Dillman falls beneath the net. Lancer point. And Ullman will be serving again tonight. A bad bump by Vincent, and that'll fall on top of her head almost. And rolls out of bounds, giving Lancers another point here, down by only 2. This is a miscommunication by CRU this time. Nobody was there in the back to receive Ullman's serve. And the Lancers are looking to tie it up at the big 1-0 here. That'll be an ace. Nelson isn't able to get the dig. Another nice serve from Ullman means that it's tied up, 10-10. Lancers have been in almost the same position already tonight. It was tied at 12. But I don't believe they've had the lead yet tonight. They're looking to get it here. Nice over by Schaller. And Winsand and Swenson are unable to get here in time, and the Lancers are up for the first time tonight, 11-10. Pfeiffer now coming in for Schaller. Ullman's got another serve. Tresher is able to bump it over there. Cloaky with a nice returning bump. Nice setup from Swenson. Means Tresher is able to get the kill. Her now coming in for Nelson. Tied up at 11. And O'Neill will be serving. She's been probably the highest scored off of server tonight. Really giving CRU some favors. Bad set by Pfeiffer there. Means that Bauer won't be able to bump it over, and she'll be going right back out, and in is Schaller once again. Another serve from O'Neill here. And a nice reception by Cloaky eventually means Schaller is able to bump it over. Bailey is going to spike it over with a closed hand, and that's her. That one's going to fall over onto the line, barely inside of the Lancers' court. And that's another point for CRU. O'Neill with a good deep serve to the back. And Fenig, who came in at some point, won't be able to get a bump on that one, and in coming to replace her will be Willits. Sharing back to Schaller to Willits. This one's going to come over. Bauer's there to bump it over, but that one's going to fly into a light fixture. Bit of a low gym here on ILHS territory means that stuff like that will happen a bit more than at other schools. Bit disappointing for the Lancers, but it's just a point. And O'Neill is serving again. Spike over from Tresher. Cloaky goes for the save, but the rest of her team won't be able to deliver on that, which means O'Neill is going back to the line once again. Cloaky there, she'll bump it over. Received by O'Neill. Her gonna try spiking it over with a bit of a lob. Willits and Schaller miscommunicated, and nobody goes to that. Incoming now is Hamilton for Bauer. O'Neill serving once again. Schoenbeck almost goes for the set. Instead, Ullman will bump it to receive and almost hit her in the back of the head. I think her ponytail flew up there. But another point for CRU as they're up 18-11 now. CRU on a 7-point run right now. 12-point. Schoenbeck's going to try setting that one over, but that'll go out of bounds. Almost a lift there as well. 13 points in a row for CRU, and they're up 19-11. Only 6 points to go to close out on what I believe is best of 5. Woods probably should have gone for that, and I think she's realizing that now. And CRU is going to hit the 20s. O'Neal serving once again. She's as consistent as ever. Clokey to Schaller, and that one's going to come up underneath the net. Up by 10 now is CRU. 4 points to go. Ullman there to receive it. Schaller's going to set it to nobody, and Hamilton can't get there in time to get a good clean bump over the net. And CRU's doubled up on the Lancers now. Nice dig from O'Neal. That'll be point number 23 for CRU. Chippewa Valley C team now. 2 more to go. Clokey is going to bump it over, but instead it'll come up short. Lancers JV sitting on the stage now watching as this third game comes to a close. O'Neal. This serve will actually go out. It's the second serve she's missed tonight. The first one was a foot fault in the first game. And Schoenbeck serving now. She's also a decent server. Let's see if the Lancers can build something. Way deep. And that's going to be a lift called on her. Dillman is barely there to save that. That might have gone out of bounds, but it might not, and it's better to be safe. Schoenbeck serving again. And that will be sent over by Tresher. Clokey is going to bump it into the ceiling. Nobody is there. It'll go out of bounds. And that means CRU's C team sounding pretty happy about that win. And that'll be the first set done tonight. We've still got JV to watch. And the players will meet to give high fives at the net. So that was a good game tonight by both teams. Especially that second game, that looked really good. Lancers are going to be feeling a bit disappointed about that one, but they're going to greet the JV team as they get ready to start with practice. And we'll see you in 20 or so minutes. Keep having a good night and enjoy the upcoming JV game. Hello to all of those viewing from home. This is the Emmanuel Lutheran Broadcast Club broadcasting tonight's JV game between CRU and Emmanuel Lutheran High School Lancers. This is your commentator, Uriah Wales. We've got Will Siddle behind the camera tonight. And we're looking forward to a good JV team. Lancers bench is quite large. And CRU's only got 8 people from the looks of it. But we're expecting to see a good game here from both sides. Teams are meeting to high five at the net. Starting lineups for both sides. For the Lancers, we have Green, Williams, and Quaid in the back. Bartles, Koenig, and Starland up front. And then for CRU, we've got Eva Woodhull, Violet Woodhull, and Gracie Vlasak in the back. Up front is Vollendorf, DeWitt, and Hayes, except Hayes is going to swap to the back, and Vlasak will come up front. For some quick lineup changes, we should be going right away. And the first serve is going to be Green for the Lancers. Green now. And that'll be received by Hayes. That one's going to sneak over the line, giving CRU the first point. Vlasak now will be serving. Williams going to try to receive that, but it's a bit too fast for her, and that'll bounce off of her bump. CRU with the first 2 points here. This one's going to come up just barely short. Inch higher, and that would have been over. But that'll be the Lancers' first point tonight. Down by 1, 2-1, early in this first game. Bartles now is serving. And that'll be an ace from Bartles. Violet Woodhull isn't able to receive that one well. And tied up at 2. Another serve for Bartles now. This time it's going to be Eva Woodhull who can't receive it. And the Lancers will be up for the first time tonight. Bartles has got plenty of power to her serve, and let's see if she can keep the train rolling early on. Good reception from Vlasak. Spiked over by DeWitt, and the Lancers are unable to convert on that. And now it'll be Vollendorf serving for CRU. Green sets it to Quaid. She's going to sneak that one right along the back line. Lancers point there. Got a nice fast-moving game here early on. And now it's Koenig serving. In is Cotto for Vollendorf. This one's going to be an ace off of Cotto's arms. Larson now coming in for Williams. Koenig with another ace. Koenig another serve here. And a setup to Hayes. Received by Koenig. Larson's going to set that one across. A nice spike from DeWitt, but Bartles is able to receive it. Do it again. This one's going to go way out into the Lancers bench. They're up now 7-3. Koenig serving again. This one goes way out. We've seen this from Koenig before this season. She's had a couple of games already. She's got plenty of power, but sometimes it's a bit too much. And now Sito is going to come in to replace her. Serving is DeWitt for CRU. Sito there to receive it, and Starlin's going to set that one over. A spike from Violet Woodhull. And Sito is going to come up short into the net. CRU point. DeWitt is serving again. Sito there to receive it. Green to Bartles. Violet Quaid's going to try getting the block on that. And Larson's spike will come up short. Into the net. Down by 1 now is CRU. And serving is DeWitt once again. Starlin's going to try bumping that one. But she doesn't have a good setup on it, and she'll get in Sito's way. So tied up at 7 now with CRU to serve. Starlin not able to get there in time. And CRU's going to take the lead again. Or maybe for the first time tonight. DeWitt serving. Bartles now. Set over by Larson. And that's going to be Hayes bumping it deep into the back. What a save by Green. Starland isn't able to get there in time, sadly. And that'll put CRU up by 2. So it's looking like it's going to be a pretty intense junior varsity matchup here. And DeWitt's going to keep the serve streak going. Sito can't quite bump that one over. DeWitt once again as CRU is now in double digits. Sito receives that one poorly. Up by 4 now is CRU. And timeout Lancers. These are 1-minute timeouts. We're looking forward to a pretty good JV matchup here. It's looking pretty intense, but also kind of fast right now, which is what we like to see. Can get a bit exhausting, but we like to see games that keep moving. And these are some pretty fierce, competitive girls here. And, yep, we're just hoping to see that everything goes well and both teams have a good game. DeWitt at the line now, coming out of timeout. Sito wisely decides to avoid that one, and that's going to be out of bounds. Lancers point now. They're down by 3, and it's Starlin up to serve. Rosendahl now coming in for Green. Her first time on the court tonight. Starland. Clean laser of a serve. Rosendahl with a nice bump deep into the backcourt. That's going to be received by DeWitt. And a block there by Larson, but no need. That spike will come up into the net, and Starling gets to serve again. And this miscommunication there between Violet and Hayes. And Lancers now are going to go into the double digits, being down by 1. Starlin's third serve. That's an ace. Cotto can't get there to save it, and that'll fly quickly out of bounds. Tied up at 11. Definitely expecting a bit of a back and forth matchup here. Starlin serving again. Received once again by Vlasak. This one's barely going to stay in bounds, and nobody can get there in time. CRU's turn to serve now, and up to the line will be Hayes. Rosendal's going to duck for Bartles, but Bartles isn't going to go for it. And that's another point now for CRU. Bartles there to receive it. Tipped over by Larson. Vlasak now deep into the back. Rosendal's going to go for the spike, but that one's going to go into the net. She doesn't have quite the right angle on it. And that'll put CRU up by 3, 14-11. Starlin bumps it to Larson. And Violet's going to interfere with that a little bit. Meaning that is another point for Lancers. Serving is Quaid. Quaid now getting set up. Powerful serve, but just a bit too much power. That's going to go a couple feet out of the back. And now we've got Eva Woodhull up to serve. Received by Sido. Starlin gonna set it over. That was a good move. An attempted block, but they can't block it, and DeWitt can't get there in time. Lancer point. And Koenig now is in for Sido. Larson serving. High arc on that serve. And that's going to be a bump up close to the net, meaning that Vlasak is going to be unable to get it over. Down by 1 now is the Lancers. Quaid now. Starlin going for set over once again. This time that DeWitt is there to predict it. Quaid, set over. And that's going to be Vlasak trying to get it over the line, but no good. And there would have been a net or a line violation there anyways. Both teams would just tend to go in this first game. Good serve by Larson, received by Hayes. CRU will manage to convert on that. Koenig gonna tap it over. And that's Starlin now bumping it to Koenig. Received by Eva. Sent over by Violet. Bartles with an aggressive set over. And Wollendorf won't be able to get it over. Lancer point. They're up again. Larson serving. Received by Eva. And a bad bump by Wollendorf. She was too far out and wasn't able to get it to any of her teammates. And that'll be a timeout called by Coach Casey Vlasak for CRU. So it's a very good looking game right now. Looks like there might have been a bit of water spilled on the court over there on CRU's side. Hasn't affected anybody at all. Lancers are up by 2 now, 17-15. They've only got 8 to go to close out this first game, whereas CRU needs 10. This is definitely a good match to watch, though, and I hope every one of you at home is enjoying this as we also like broadcasting this for you. have a feeling that the Lancers full bench versus Cruz means they're going to be maybe a bit less exhausted going into the second or third game. They might also be doing a best of 5. I'm not entirely sure. Out of the timeout now, Larson prepared to serve once again. Here comes the serve from Larson. And that's going to be an ace from Larson, as Hayes is going to bump it into the student section for the Lancers. Larson now. Hayes there to receive it once again, Vollendorf. And it's going to get set over by DeWitt with a bit of a collision. Powerful spike from Koenig, but it is received. Bartles is going to tap it over. Great strike out move right there. CRU doesn't know what to do about it, and now the Lancers will be up by 4. Only 6 points left to go. CRU's hoping to rally a bit here. Larson with the serve over. And Hayes is going to be there to catch it. Woodhull is going to completely whiff on it, and she'll be subbing out for Samaro. 5 left to go for the Lancers. Larson's looking pretty good tonight. Hayes. And Vollendorf's going to try putting that one over, but poor contact. And that'll be another timeout called by CRU. Really hoping to win this first game because they can't exactly go for the long game here. A bench of only 2 extra people is not looking the greatest for a team, especially away. But I have no doubt that they'll still be able to pull off a pretty good game tonight. Decent opportunity for them to win here. I could see this going either way for sure. Lancers just taking advantage of their quick conversation. It's a bit warm in the ILC field house tonight, and the players especially would be feeling that. CRU now coming out of the huddle, and Lancers as well. Larson prepared to serve once again. They have 4 points to go. And a nice reception from Samaro, but Vollendorf isn't going to be able to do anything about it. Lancers will score again. Hayes, Vollendorf. Now Samaro's going to put it over. That's going to go out of bounds out, though, just barely. Bit too much power and a bit too low of an angle on it. 2 left to go for Larson. She's having a good run tonight. DeWitt's going to receive it. And it's good block by Rosendahl there. CRU's still going to be able to get it over. Starland with a set over. Vollendorf now to Violet. Koenig with a bump over. Violet again. Nice dig by Quaid. And Starland's going to set that one over. Vollendorf gets there, but it's out of bounds. One more for the Lancers here. They're having a good run right now. Something like 10, 11-point run. Larson needs one more. Hayes receives. Samara's going to put it over. Received by Larson. Koenig can't quite tip it over. The top of the net got in her way. And that means that CRU has an outside. It's doable, but it's pretty slim chance of winning this first game. And it'll be Violet Woodhull serving. Received by Rosendahl. That was a good bump. Koenig's going to put it over. And a bump over by Vlasak. Koenig can't quite get down enough to receive it. No dig for her. And Violet will be going to the line once again. Very low serve. Quay is going to spike it over though. DeWitt puts it over. Quaid saves it. Koenig whiffs on a spike, and that'll go into the bottom of the net. CRU still needs 6 straight points here to force this game into extra points though. Woodhull. Clean serve, received by Quaid. Rosendahl's going to set that one over. DeWitt is barely able to sneak that one past Rosendahl, who had a very aggressive block a few points ago. Violet Woodhull serving once again. Williams is going to receive this. It's not the greatest bump though, and Rosendahl won't be able to get there in time. 4 now, CRU still needs. And Violet again. Quaid's gonna set down. And Starlin can't quite bump down over the line. You can hear the Lancer student section cheering Uno Mas if you listen very closely. They really want to win this first game too. And Bartles. Over. DeWitt's gonna tap that one over. Quaid can't save it. And that'll be a timeout called by Coach Nauman of the Lancers. Koenig isn't quite able to get there, and we'll have another minute break. CRU's looking pretty good right now. If Violet Woodhull can keep this streak going, then they have a decent chance of winning this first game. Lancers would be disappointed about that. They were up 24-15 at one point, and they just haven't quite been able to close out. CRU really mounting a comeback here, and it's definitely doable at this point. But I'd say just simple math, Lancers do have a slightly better chance. These serves are meaning everything, though. This is a lot of pressure on Violet, and she's responding to it well. And another serve now from Woodhull. Quaid's gonna try setting that one when Williams could have received it. Down by 1 now is CRU. Rosendahl, Starlin, Koenig, deadly spike to the back, and it's a miscommunication. DeWitt isn't able to get there in time, and Samir doesn't go for it. The Lancers fans and players are pretty happy about that first game, but boy is this going to be a one to watch. That's only the first game still. We've got quite possibly 2 more to go if we're doing best of 5. Once again, I'm not really sure. But that's getting pretty intense. This is the type of volleyball that everybody comes to see. We'll be back in a couple minutes. And we are back from our sorry about that. We're back from our 3-minute break. It'll be CRU serving first this time. Gracie Vlasak. To start off this game for CRU, hoping to get the first point here, take an early lead. Can hear a bit of team spirit there from CRU. And Lancers got a couple lineup changes to work, or lineup things to work out. Starting this time for the Lancers are Quaid, Williams, and Bartles in the back. Gurgle, who hasn't been in yet tonight. Starland and Rosendahl in the front. And then for CRU, we've got Vlasak, Violet Woodhull, and Eva Woodhull in the back. Eva is number 2, Violet's number 3. Up front is Vollendorf, DeWitt, and Hayes. Serving now, Vlasak. Low serve. Cuts up too short of Williams for her to go for it, and that'll be a first point for CRU. Quaid receives this one. And Gurgle's going to bump it into the net. Kind of had a bad angle on it there and went for the point. Early 2-0 lead here for CRU. Starling's going to spike that one over. That would have been in, and Vlasak can't get there to save it. And so that's going to be a nice point scored by Starland. Quaid goes back to serve now. Quaid's walk up. And clean contact received by Vlasak. Pace is going to put that one over. Received by Williams. Rosendahl bumps it over. Powerful spike. Quaid can't dig that one. 3-1 now in favor of CRU. Vollendorf serving now. Quaid receives. Starland with a spike over. Vollendorf's going to receive that. And it's going to get set over by DeWitt. Bartles set. And that's a good strikeout move there from DeWitt. Lancers weren't expecting only 2 hits there, and that'll be a clean point. Vollendorf serving again. High arc. It's a bad set from Starland. Looked pretty painful too. But Rosendahl isn't able to get back there in time, and the rest of the Lancers weren't really sure what to do. 5th point for CRU. Vollendorf going to serve again. And now it's going to get sent over by Rosendahl. But it won't get over. It'll just hit the net. Up now by 5 is CRU. Vollendorf serving again. And Quaid and Williams are going to trip into each other there. That one probably should have been Quaid's, but Williams still got in the way. And that's an ace from Vollendorf. Starland receives. Bartles sets it over. Hayes now. That one's too far back. And that'll be a 2nd point for the Lancers now. Much needed as it gives Starland a chance to serve here. Out is going to be Vollendorf and in is going to be Cotto. Starland's serve has quite a bit of dip to it, but it'll still get received. Starland and Rosendahl almost tripping over each other. Bartle's going to bump down to the back, received by Cotto. Quaid receives from Hayes. Bartles goes for a spike, and that looks good for a point. 7-3 in favor of CRU, looking pretty good early in the 2nd game. Starland serve now. And And Cato's going to bump it up into the ceiling and try bumping it again. But I think the officials are going to notice that one. Point number 4 for Lancers. Valiant attempt at a point conversion there by CRU, but it's going to go wide from Hayes. And Starling gets to serve again. Received by Violet. Sent over by DeWitt and received by Quaid. Good block by DeWitt, but Rosendahl manages to set it over there by an interesting attempt from Lancers. Gergel gonna bump it to the back, received by Violet. And Hayes is gonna bump down. Quaid receives. Good volley here. That one's barely gonna nick the back line of Lancers territory. And that'll be the 8th point for CRU after a bit of a drought. Serving now is DeWitt. She had a good set of serves in the first game. And Bartles gonna bump down over. Received by DeWitt. Bounces off the ceiling. Gergel gonna bump down over. Yeah. Bit of miscommunication, but they handled it. And DeWitt's gonna try bumping that one over from the very back of the court, but can't quite get there in time. Kazemba in for the first time tonight, replacing Williams. She's looking pretty happy to be out there, and she'll go up to the front line. Rosendahl serve now. Received by Cotto. Eva's going to tap that one over, but that'll be a nut violation on Kazemba when she is going for the block. Lancers point. Seibel now, her first time, coming in for Rosendahl. Hayes serving. Serve almost comes up short. That one barely squeaked over, and Kazemba isn't too happy about that one. Felt like kind of a cheap serve, but it counts for points. And now the Chippewa Valley CRU is into the double digits. Hayes serving again. Received by Bartles. Kazemba gonna go for a spike. And a bad bump from Vlasak means that in the end, CRU isn't able to score there. Lancers ball, Bartles serving again. She's got a good, powerful serve. Let's see if she can get a few points for the Lancers here. Maybe tie it up in the double digits. Received by Hayes. And Violet's going to send that one over. Bartles going to bump that one. Almost goes into one of the side hoops in Lancers Fieldhouse. But either way, that's a point for CRU. They're up by 4, 11-7 now. Serving is Eva. Received by Seibel. That one's going to get bumped into the Lancers bench. Eva serving again. Gergel there. She'll try to receive it, but not a very clean bump. And Coach Nauman of the Lancers will call for timeout. Looking pretty good this second game as well. CRU's up by a bit. Right now, 13-7. Lancers still have plenty of time to come back, but CRU also has maybe enough of a pillow that they can win this second game after disappointingly for them losing the first one. We've got some pretty good gameplay here by both sides, though, especially with CRU's 8-person team. That's got to be pretty exhausting, I would think. Both teams are playing well. Lancers looking good. CRU looking good. No matter what happens tonight, I have a feeling both teams are going to be pretty happy with themselves. Eva's going to serve again. This serve is going to come up short and roll into her sister's arms up against the line, and she's going to sub out, and in comes Caitlin Samara to take her place. Kurgel serving now. And Koenig comes in. Rail comes in for side. That ball's going to roll almost out of bounds. That'll be a Lancers point, but Gurgle gets an opportunity to serve it again. Received by Hayes. That one's going to bounce up against the line, and Kazamba and Koenig were there to build a wall in case they went for anything. Another Lancers point as they go into double digits. Received by Samara. That's going to hit her head, it looks like. And then it'll eventually get bumped into the ceiling while going over, meaning that's a Lancers point once again. Gurgle with another good serve. Hayes. Violet. And Blazak is unable to get it over the net. Lancers now down by 1. Gurgle's going to serve again. Powerful serve. Just a bit too much mustard on it, and that's going to go a couple feet past the bat. Meaning that Violet Woodhull is going to get an opportunity to serve once again in the second game. Bartles is almost there to receive it. That would have been just barely in bounds, but she can't quite get underneath it, and so that'll be a CRU point. 15-12. Violet. Low serve, received by Rail, and that'll go to the back of Lancers' side of the court. Violet serving again. Seibel. Gwyneth manages to get there, and Koenig will bump it over. DeWitt going for a spike, received by Seibel. Gurgle puts it over. And DeWitt's going to touch that one way out of bounds. Lancers ball now, down by 3. CRU's hoping to close out on the second game here. But they've still got a ways to go, and the Lancers certainly aren't going to go down without a fight here. Kazamba, good solid serve, received by Hayes. Nobody is there, but DeWitt gets there in time. Bartles receives. Rail's going to go for a spike, but she'll spike it into the net instead. CRU point. Blazak serving now. Koenig receives. Gurgle gonna set it over, received by Hayes. Attempted spike from Rosendahl. But that's gonna be a block, and Rosendahl's gonna get called for a lift as that one kind of fell into her face. CRU almost to 20 now. Blazak with a deep serve, received by Williams. Gurgle's going to bump that one over. Received by Blazak. Gurgle's going to connect uncleanly on that one, and that's going to go way back for another CRU point here. Williams receives. Rosendahl with an interesting set type of thing there. And DeWitt and Vollendorf are going to trip into each other. And unfortunately for them, that's going to be a Lancer point. Koenig now serving. She's got good deep serves. Sometimes they're a bit too far, though. Like that one. And that'll be a 20th point now for CRU. 5 more to go. Lancers need 11. And Koenig and Bartles are out. Larson and Quaid are in. Bollendorf serving now. Received by Quaid. Violet's going to save that one from going out of bounds. And that'll be a lift called on Eva. Bit of an unclean set there. Could have gone for a bump, maybe. And Cotto's going to come in for Vollendorf. Seibel in, Rosendahl out. Seibel serving now. Received by Blasuk. Pace's backwards bump over is going to come up short. Lancers down by 4. Seibel serving again. And that's going to be a time. Nope, not a timeout. There's a bit of a lineup confusion right now on the Lancers side. Referee going to check with the scoring table now. Yeah, just a little bit of a lineup confusion here. The Lancers have had this happen a couple times. And it turns out that it should have been Rail serving here. So that'll be a free point given to CRU. 4 more to go for them. DeWitt is serving. Williams receives. Rail bumps it over. And that was fast moving ball, so Hayes is gonna bump that one past any of her teammates' reach. Lancers ball. Starland is coming in now in Rail's place. And Seibel is not going to serve for real this time. She's a pretty clean server. She's going to start a roll here maybe. Received by DeWitt. And Hayes is going to spike that one over. Kazumba receives. Quaid receives. Williams is going to try setting that one over, but it's too close to the net, and Kazemba's going to come in her place. Hayes receiving now. Powerful serve, nice and low though. Starling going to bump it over. And Blazak pushes that one over. Nice block there by Violet. Kazemba bumps it over. Blazak with the spike. Kazemba now fade away. Violet's going to manage to sneak that one over. Kazemba with the tip over Eva's head, and that's a good point there by Kazemba. Lancers ball, they'll be serving, and going back to the line is Larson. Kazemba is coming in for Koenig is coming in for Quaid now. 3 more to go for CRU. Meanwhile, 8 more to go for the Lancers. They're down by 5. Larson with a bit of a bad serve, but it works out, and that's going to actually be an ace, as Hayes can't get there in time. Larson with the good, clean serve this time. Kato is there to receive it. Starling going to set that one over. Eva manages to sneak that one over. Starling with another set over. Eva sets it over herself. Kazemba going to go for a deep spike, received by Kato. And they're going to call a lift on Eva there. Lancers down now by only 3. there's still a chance for them. Serious serve right now. Larson's back behind the line. That serve's going to be just barely too deep. CRU point, they only have 2 to go now. And serving is Samara. Kato and Eva Woodhull are out. In are Samaro and Vollendorf. Samaro's serve comes up short. Lancers now at the 20. Starlin's gonna sub out for Rail. Bit of confusion there, but she does eventually wind up subbing out. And serving is Gurgle. She had a good serving run earlier. Let's see if she can duplicate it. Replicate it. Vollendorf manages to bump that one over somehow, but that'll be out of bounds, sadly. Down by 2 now is the Lancers. Gurgle serving again. That's an ace. DeWitt unable to get there in time. I believe that even touched the ground before she got to it. Down now by only 1 is the Lancers. This is starting to look like what happened last game, but instead the Lancers are coming back. Larson, Gurgle, Koenig, too much power. She is gonna spike that one out. And CRU just needs 1 good serve now to win it. And Violet Woodhull is up. She's a good server from what we've seen. An ace here maybe to close it out. Larson receives. Rail manages to squeeze that one over. Nice setup, bump over. Tip over by Vollendorf, and that means the second game will go to CRU. These games are really close here, but this time it's in favor of CRU, and we'll be back in just a couple minutes now for the 3rd game. Back from the break now for the third and what might be the final game. I'm not really sure. We could be doing best 3 of 5. And that'll be Green with the first serve, received by Blasak. Miscommunication between DeWitt and Vollendorf. And this time it'll be the Lancers with the first point. Green serving again. We haven't gotten to see much of her serving, but she's been pretty good at it from previous games that we've seen. Starland with a good, powerful spike. Received by Eva. DeWitt will bump it over. Green is able to get there, but Koenig spikes it into the net. That's CRU's first point of this third game. Starland receives the serve. And Gurgle will bump it over. Do it there, but while that may have gotten out of bounds, Williams wasn't sure, and so she attempts to go for the bump, but she will bump it well out of bounds. CRU's second point. Vollendorf's going to serve again. Williams receives, almost up into the ceiling. Quaid saves it. Kenny's going to try going for set over, but not only will it be coming up short, but it'll also be a lift. Stands are looking to have cleared out a bit. It is getting pretty late. And that serve from Vollendorf is going to be an absolute laser. Unfortunately, it's just a bit too low, and that'll go into the net. And she's going to sub out for Cotto. Serve from Gurgle, received by Violet. DeWitt's gonna try spiking it over. Then while Starland may have blocked that came up short either way. Meaning Lancer's ball. Gurgle with the serve again. Green's gonna set it to Quaid. Deep into the back, received by Violet. Pace. Quaid gonna go for another spike. And Blazak's gonna go for a set, but this one's gonna go out of bounds as she mishandles it. Lancer's ball, they're up. Lancer's point, they're up now 4-3. Gurgle serves again. That's an ace from Gurgle. Violet Woodhull is going to bump that one into the net on a dig. And that one's going to be no good. Lancer's point once again. That's going to be an ace. This time Otto's the one who can't get there. Gurgle is on a little bit of a roll right now. Violet receives. Pace. Gurgle's there. Quaid good to go for a spike. This one's way out of the back, and the CRU gets a much needed point. Down now 7-4 early in this third game, and it'll be DeWitt serving. Gurgle gets down to get there, but nobody is able to receive a very low bump. And so that'll be another point for CRU. DeWitt. Received by Quaid. Starland's gonna bump down over. Quaid spikes that one deep, received by Blazak. That one almost goes over up above the heating system. Unfortunately, Quaid is not quite able to bump it over the net. And that'll be another CRU point. Quaid with an interesting... Oh, wait, no. Quaid goes for his spike, but number 2, Eva Woodhull is going to be in the net. And so that'll be Lancers point. And that's going to come up way short. Another point for Lancers. Williams is out, Larson is in. Sito and Eichstead on the Lancers bench, still haven't seen any time yet. Too much power from Koenig once again. She's got plenty of it, she just needs to learn how to control it. And now Sito's coming in to replace her. Serving now is Hayes. Gergel's gonna wisely let that one go out of bounds. And serving now is Starland. Rosendahl comes in for Green. Starland's to serve. Received by DeWitt. Almost blocked by Quaid, but she can't quite get up high enough. Instead, Rosendahl's going to spike it over. Now this will be a spike from Violet. Gergel receives, and Quaid bumps it over, but well out of bounds. The Lancers are maintaining their lead at 2. We've got a lot of back and forth here. And that'll be an ace from Eva. Bit of confusion between Larson and Sito as who is going to receive that one. And that'll bounce off of Sito's dig and out of bounds. Sito was the only one who was really there to get that one as well, but even still, that was well out of bounds. And Coach Nauman's going to call to her from the sideline. Eva Whittle serving again, tied up in double digits. Rosendahl, bad reception, it'll bounce, roll up her arms and bounce off of her chest. And now it's going to go out of bounds into the near side of the bleachers. Eva once again. Received by Gergel. This one into the far side of the bleachers this time, pretty close to the Lancers bench. And now it's CRU who's up by 2 points. This serve from Woodhull is going to go into the net. And finally it'll be Lancers' turn to serve once again. Quaid serving. And Samara will come in to replace Eva. Quaid and Koenig look to have a pretty similar issue of just having too much power on their serves. Power isn't necessarily a bad thing, but too much of it on a serve is especially annoying. And now it'll be Violet Woodhull serving for CRU. See by Quaid. Starland manages to tap it over up against the block. And CRU is going to send it over to Quaid. Rosendahl. That's a good spike. Absolutely nobody was there. Nobody even made a move to go for it. Very clean point there. Koenig now coming in for Sito. Larson with the serve. She had a good run in the first game of this series. And that'll be Koenig going for a kill. CRU, they managed to convert on that. Impressive. Gergel. And she'll get a kill there herself. And Larson serving once again. Powerful serve. Pace is going to bump that one out of bounds. And that'll put the Lancers up by 1, 14-13 now. Received by Violet. Sent over by Vlasak. Gergel's going to manage to get a spike up against DeWitt on the net. Nice tap by DeWitt. Starland. What a play there. Starland's able to both receive the tip from DeWitt and then pick up a very low set from Quaid to bump it into open space. And that's a very deserved point for the Lancers there. Blasak's going to go for that dig, but it was just too far out of her reach and nobody else would have been there anyways. Lancers up by 3 for the first time in a while. Larson with another serve. That's going to be not quite an ace, but DeWitt isn't able to dig that one off the ground. 17-13 Lancers. Emma Larson is looking pretty good right now. And she will whiff on that serve. That one's going to roll off the end of her fingers. And CRU's going to kind of luck out with that point right there. But they'll be up to serve again. Gracie Vlasak now. Let's see if they can convert on this. Received by Quaid. That one's going to bounce off of her head, though. And she definitely knew that nobody was going to be there the moment she felt that. Vlasak again. Received by Williams. Set from Starland to Gurgle. That one's going to get over the block. DeWitt's going to send that one back over to Williams, though. Quaid. Going to spike this one from the back row, but this one's going to go barely out of bounds on the near side. And too bad for the Lancers. They'll now only have a 1-point lead. Rosendahl going to receive that serve. Starland with a backward set over the net. Ace with a bit of a lob spike. And Rosendahl's going to manage to bump that one over from a ways back. Miscommunication between Violet Woodhull and Gretchen Vollendorf there. Lancers up by 2 once again. And Rosendahl's going to sub for Green. CRU's coach is getting pretty into it right now, very enthusiastic, and I would be too. This is an intense game. Clean serve from Green. Well then. DeWitt has plenty of power on that one, but she hit that one more up than down, and that's going to bounce off the back padding in this Fieldhouse gym. Green now. Serve. And Samaro and Violet are going to hit that one at the same time. Lancers point. They're up 20-16 right now. CRU's coach is going to call a timeout. 1 minute timeout. Let's see how CRU plans to come out of this one. They still have a chance of winning. They just need to slow down the Lancers a bit right now. CRU are up 4. That's pretty comfortable lead coming into them having 5 left. This can still go either way, as we've seen with every other game for the JV team tonight. First game was 25-23 in favor of the Lancers. Second one was 25-22 for CRU. Like I said earlier during the first game, this one could go either way, and this is a very good game right now. Volleyball hasn't been enjoyed this much. What a game these girls have been playing, and now it's Green to serve once again. Crowd's getting quiet now. They can feel the tension. Received by Samaro. DeWitt's going to backwards bump down over. That's out, though. 21-16 now for the Lancers. From the looks of it, this will just be a best of 3, but with regular scoring. Instead of going to 15 for the third one. Attempted block by Starland and Koenig. That one's going to fall barely inbounds on the far side. CRU's point. Serving now is Vollendorf. Eva Woodhull coming in for Caitlin Samaro. Gretchen Vollendorf now to serve for CRU. Good serve received by Williams. Gurgle is going to bump down over. Miscommunication on CRU's side. They can't really afford to do that this late into this third game. And Vollendorf will be heading out, and in is Cotto. Gurgle is serving here. And since that one's going to go up against the ceiling, Starland with a good bit of a tip there over. And that one's going to get bumped up into the ceiling. Lancers point, Gurgle serves again. Received by Cotto. Eva is there. This time Williams is there to receive it. And Starland's going to go for a spike. Almost gets up in the ceiling. That one's out. Too far. Lancers now 1 point to close out this third game. They really want this. Gurgle now. This might be the last serve of this game. Cotto gets there, and DeWitt's going to tap that one over. Quaid. To nobody. Cotto tries getting there, but that's going to be the third game in favor of the Lancers. And from the looks of it, we're doing best of 5. My voice isn't looking too great. And this is great volleyball, but I'm definitely going to be feeling this tomorrow. We got 3 minutes to the break. If the Lancers win this, it'll be all over. And if CRU wins, well, we're going to keep going even later tonight. It's 8:30 right now. Keep enjoying your night. Keep watching volleyball. We hope you'll come back in a couple minutes. Fourth game, Vollendorf's going to lead off serving. And Starland with a set over, pretty fast. Hayes now going to go for a spike. Bartle's there. Starland with the set over, almost to the right space, just a bit too much on it. Starland's going to bump down over, right up close to the line. That'll be a net violation on DeWitt. First point for the Lancers. Which means that Quaid is serving. I'm sorry, I'm out of water. I'm gonna do my best for this fourth game. Quaid's gonna serve that one just too far to the right. All the Lancer fans hoping that Lancers win this game, and I am too, just because my voice is kind of important. Williams with a great bump to nobody, and that'll be Lancer's point. Up 2-1 now. It'll be Starland serving. She's had some good runs earlier this season, hasn't had anything too special today. That's going to be not quite an ace. But DeWitt's going to bump down backwards, and Cotto can't stop it. So, point for Lancers. Starland, another serve. Williams is there to receive the return. There might have been a block on that one, maybe not. But either way, that's going to be the Lancers winding up with possession. Gurgle's gonna go for a spike, but she's gonna come up short. Hey, serving now. Gurgle. It's a spike, but this one's gonna be out of bounds on the close side, closer to us. And Hayes will be serving again. 3-3. Gurgle there to receive it. Starland manages to save it. Williams will squeeze it over. Nice play by Lancers there. And Koenig with an interesting spike tip hybrid to give the Lancers a point in the serve. Rosendahl serving, and Kazemba coming in for Williams. Kazemba serve, received by Cato. And Vlasak is going to put this one over, but it's too far. Rosendahl serves again. That's an ace. Miscommunication between Hayes and DeWitt, and I think they both knew, even as that ball was still traveling, that there was nothing they were going to be able to do about it. This one's going to be received by DeWitt, but that's another ace, as Violet Woodhull is going to be unable to get that one over the net. Rosendahl serving again. Received by Cato. Same thing happens once again. It's going to get bumped up to the net, and there's nothing Violet can do about it. Or Eva. Rosendahl kind of on a roll right now. This one received by Hayes. Eva is there. Woodhull for the spike. Rosendahl receives. Quaid is going to bump that one over. Set. And Quaid with a spike on that one. Just barely out of bounds. CRU's point. Down 8-4 now. And Vollendorf is coming in for Cato. Evo serving now. Received by Quaid. Kazemba, powerful spike, but it's into the net. That's good for a point for CRU. Quaid now. That one sneaks over. And Vollendorf isn't expecting it. So that'll be somewhat of a lucky point for the Lancers. Bartles is serving now. Koenig is out. Bartles, powerful serve. That was an ace. In fact, that's such an ace. That one went through the supports of the basketball net in the back, this stage side of the field house. That was kind of impressive, actually. Bartles serving again. And Vlasak's there. That one's going to get fouled up in the ceiling, though, after Vollendorf tries for a bump over. Bit too high. Bartles gets to serve again. Timeout called by CRU. Bartles now preparing to serve again. Got some water, so I should be fine for a little bit. That's an ace. Nothing Samaro can do about it. Up 12-5 is Lancers. Bartles serving again. Another ace for Bartles. She is on fire right now. DeWitt's going to set that one out of bounds. And I would say it's pretty clear that CRU's small bench is starting to get to them at this point. They've got to be completely exhausted. It's the fourth game and all of them been getting plenty of play time. Nice reception by Samaro. Kazemba's going to try for a spike. Quaita's going to spike down well out of bounds, even past the post. And CRU's first point in a minute. They're down 13-6. Violet preparing to serve here. And that's going to be a foot fault. I saw that one too. Saved from going out of bounds by a Lancers fan. And now serving is Gurgle. Rail is coming in to sub for Starland. We're hoping to see Eichsted get some play time tonight. I think it could happen with this game. Gurgle serve now. Ace. Violet cannot get there in time, and that was a very clean serve. Nobody else would have been able to do anything about that. Gurgle again. This one's pretty far back, but received by Samaro. And Hayes is going to put that one over. Bartles receives. Kazemba's going to trip and bump that one way out of bounds. Lancers up by 8, 15-7. Vlasak serves. Quaid's going to spike that one over. What a dagger from Samaro. And she's going to try bumping it over. Bit of a flashback to what Starland did last game, but this time it doesn't work out. And CRU won't be able to score there. Seibel will be going out so that Rosendahl got an opportunity to play here. Kazemba serving now. And both Violet and Samaro are going to try receiving that one. And unfortunately, that combination of those two bumping it at the same time will knock that one into CRU's fans. Kazemba serving again. Received by Violet. Samaro. A good set over by DeWitt means Kazumba can't get there in time. Williams coming in now for Kazumba. Vollendorf serving. Good dig by Quaid, but that one's gonna get bumped just slightly out of bounds. CRU is down 17-9 right now, but they're hoping to make a comeback and maybe put this into a 5th game. Quaid saves it. Williams can't bump that one over. And CRU now into the double digits, this 3rd game, as Vollendorf prepares to serve again. Quaid receives. Good save from the net by Gurgle, means Rail can spike it over. Gurgle saves it, and then Bartles helps her out a bit. That'll be another point for CRU. Vollendorf serves again. This one glances off the top of the net. And that one will be a bit of an unusual ace for CRU. Vollendorf gets another serve here. Received by Quaid. Rosendahl. DeWitt's going to put that one over. Saved by Quaid. That one's going to roll over, but Hayes is there. Rosendahl, powerful spike to the back. Received by Violet. Great volley we've got going here. Williams doesn't have enough power to set that one over. And CRU earned that point. Vollendorf serving again. How many is it now? 6, 7? Williams going to save them for going out of bounds. Rail gets a bit confused there by the set. And that's going to be a timeout called by, I believe, the Lancers. Going to save my voice here, but score is 17-14 right now in favor of the Lancers. Both teams are playing fantastically. Vollendorf serves again, saved by Williams. Rosendahl gonna try for a spike here. DeWitt's gonna put that one over, but Gurgle is there. Rosendahl bumps on over. That one gets sneaked over by Hayes. Maybe a bit of an undeserved point there, but now CRU is down by only 2, keeping it intense here. Vollendorf once again. She's got a good streak going here. Williams gonna set that one. Rail will bump it over. Vlasak is there. Good, excellent kill there. Excellent spike from DeWitt into the very corner. Nobody is there. Now down by only 1 is CRU. Vollendorf is still serving. That's going to be an ace, as Williams is going to bump it into the ground, and Bartle's leg. Tied up at 17 here. This is what every CRU fan wanted to see coming into this set. Williams is unable to save that one. Another ace. And now it's CRU up by 1. Wollendorf having a great serving streak here. She's got to be feeling the adrenaline now. That one gets barely squeezed over into the very tight corner. And now that'll be CRU up by 2. Bartles saves it. Quay's gonna bump down over. And DeWitt, another powerful spike there. Finally, for Lancers fans and players, that'll be a Lancer point. They're down by only 1 now, and Koenig's gonna come in for Bartles. Quaid is serving. Maybe they can get a streak here. Lancers really want to win this one early without going into a 5th game. And Quaid's gonna serve that one into the net. CRU is in the 20s, and serving now is DeWitt. She's had some good serving tonight. Let's see if she can keep up that streak. Bit of a weak serve. Williams slides in to save that one, but unfortunately for the Lancers, they won't be able to convert. 4 now to go for CRU. That's an ace. One fun thing you'll notice about intense games like this, the players get louder as the night goes on. The gym gets quieter every time somebody serves. It's getting pretty much silent in here when somebody's preparing to serve. This is like a free throw to win the game in basketball, serve to win the game in volleyball. 22-18 in favor of CRU in this 4th game. This is definitely going to be one of the most intense games we'll see from either team, maybe even the season. This is quite the game. No matter which team wins, one thing that everybody will be able to see is both teams played their absolute hearts out tonight. And whichever team wins this, they deserved it. DeWitt serving again. Starlin coming in for Rail. Quaid receives the serve. Koenig there to set it over. DeWitt there to receive it. Violet gonna go for a kill. Nice set over by Starland. That's tapped out of bounds by Violet. 22-19 in favor of CRU, but now it's the Lancers serving and it's Starland. Will she be able to serve and catch up the Lancers in this 4th game? We'll find out now. First serve, received by Cotto. Koenig has too much power once again. 2 more to go for CRU in this 4th game. I can feel my voice dying as I commentate this. Hayes now. Williams receives. Starlin tips it over. Bit of disagreement between the officials here, but the official that was closer, the fellow in the blue shirt on the far side, is going to have the better call, and he is going to say that one goes in favor of the Lancers here. Seibel serving now. She's also a very consistent server. Let's see if she can close out for the Lancers. Dig from Cotto. And Eva is not able to convert. Seibel serving again. They're down by 2. Received by DeWitt. And that's going to be a bad bump from Hayes, but Eva will get there. Koenig is going to completely whiff on that spike. I don't know if she was trying to set it or what. But that means 1 more point for CRU, And there's a pretty good chance that we'll be going into a 5th and final game. Good serve from Eva and good reception from Kazamba. The official is going to say that one stays in. The crew's not, or the official is going to say that one does not go in. The crowd's a bit unhappy about that one, but it means that the Lancers have a chance here. Bartles now. And Quay's going to spike that one into the net. It was just an extra point for the Lancers, but 25-22 in favor of Crew means a 5th game, and it means, well, let's hope that I can commentate this. Another 3-minute break until the final game of tonight. This has been a game for the ages, and every fan here has been absolutely loving this. See you in a couple minutes. Green now with the first serve of what may be this final game. What will be this final game. That is a fact. This will be the final game tonight. Best of 5 should be only to 15, I think. I mean, we're doing best of 5, so I can't really be sure. Personnel confusion here by the Lancers. Out of respect for Grant, who is too sick to broadcast tonight, I'm going to be making sure I'm extra enthusiastic for this last one. To respect the Grant you all know and love. Green now with first serve. That's going to be a diving reception from Eva. Unfortunately for Hayes, she's not able to get it over, and so that'll be a first point for the Lancers. 1-0 early on in this fifth game. Green now with the second serve. Good clean contact. That's going to be Vollendorf. Hayes with a spike. Quaid is unable to bump that properly, and so that'll be tied up 1-1, and now it's CRU serving. Vollendorf for CRU. She's going to be serving. She had a fantastic run in this last game, and that's the main reason why CRU was able to win Game 4. Starlin there to receive her serve, and she's going to go for a spike. Nobody there. That's a fantastic kill. And now it's Bartle serving. Bartle's a good server. She's been looking pretty good today. Cotto is in now. I don't think she was earlier. Bartle's first serve. It's going to be a laser received by Violet. DeWitt's going to send that one over. Bumped in return by Bartles. It's on CRU's side now. Bartles is there once again to receive it. Koenig going to go for a set. She knows she's got a bit too much power, so she's going to try and keep it under control. Lancer point. DeWitt isn't able to get the ball up there, and Starlin was there for the block, which means Bartles is serving again. Lancers are up 3-1 right now in this fifth game. Absolute laser of a serve. That's going to be a fantastic ace. Completely deserved. Neither Vlasak nor Violet were able to do anything about that, and that'll put up the Lancers to 4. Miscommunication there. Probably an undeserved point there. They could have earned it later, but that's another ace. Nobody touched that one. Up by 4 now. The Lancers are liking this early lead. Bartle's serving again. Cotto's going to be there for this one. Hayes is going to bump that over. Bartle's there to receive. Quaid going to go for a spike. Hayes receives. Green is there. Quaid with a standing spike. DeWitt, she's got plenty of power. That's going to be on the back line. And that's a point for CRU. 5-2 now. CRU is serving. Sito is coming in now for Bartles. And serving will be DeWitt. DeWitt and Vollendorf, the two most notable servers for CRU tonight. They've probably gotten about half the points from serves tonight. Williams there to receive, and she's going to maybe get in the way of Quaid a bit, as one of them planned to bump it over, but they kind of collided. 5-3 now. CRU serving. Quaid is there to receive the serve. Starlin going to go for set over. That's almost out of bounds, but Vlasak's there to keep it from doing so. Williams there with a nice dig. Quaid, spike out of bounds. Now only up by 1 are the Lancers, as DeWitt gets another opportunity to serve. This has been a fantastic game, and I'm sure all you fans watching from home are loving to watch this. I know I'm having a fun job commentating this. Ace from DeWitt, tied up. I'm sure you are loving watching me commentate this, but this is really a game where you'd have to be there. You just can't feel the atmosphere from at home on your couch. Sito bumps it over, received by DeWitt. Violet going to send that one over. Williams is there. Green's going to tip that one over. What a move by Starlin. Fantastic way to tip it over the net. And that's a completely deserved point as it puts the Lancers up again. Gergel serving now. Gergel really hoping to convert here. And there's a sub. Larson coming in now for Williams. Gergel now serving. She's been a good clean server today. And Cotto's going to be there to receive the bump. Nice dig by Gergel. Quaid going to send that one over. Once again, she's got too much angle on it. Tied up at 6. CRU serve. Hayes is serving now. Received by Gurgle. Not the greatest bump though, too much straight up. CRU is up now by 1. Anybody's game. That's all I had to say about this coming into this, when it was tied at like 3 in the first game, and that's all I've got to say now. Larson gonna spike down over. Received by DeWitt. Unfortunate move there, decision there by Green, means Starlin won't be able to get a clean bump on it. CRU up now by 2, halfway there to 15. I'm fairly certain we're only going to 15 here. I really hope we're only going to 15 here. Hayes now with a very high arcing serve. Green's going to bump down over the line. And unfortunately for Eva, she's not going to be able to execute on a good bump. Lancers point. Starlin serving now. Starlin is a fantastic server. We've seen some of her greater serves in away games, thanks to Grant's broadcasting. Completely quiet in the gym on serves. Now manages to squeeze over. What a save! Starlin able to touch that one over. And Violet's going to put that one into the net. Tied up at 8. The intensity of this is phenomenal. This is Olympian standard intensity right here. Starlin, fantastic serve. That one's going to get sent up into the ceiling by DeWitt. Gurgle with the dig. Nice try there by Rosendahl as well. Unfortunately, Larson isn't able to get it over, and so that'll be CRU up by 1. Serving now is Eva. Yep. A lot of pressure here. That one's out. Rosendahl wisely doesn't touch it. Tied up at 9. 6 to go for either team now. Bartles is coming in for Cito. And it looks like Quaid will be going back to serve here. Quaid now. Hayes receives. The Lancers will go into the double digits. That is an important point right there. The Lancers now with a 1-point lead. Anybody's game. Quaid serve. She will whiff on the serve, and now it's tied at 10s. And now we've got Violet Woodhull serving. She's been another decent server for CRU tonight. And she will put this one over. Received by Gurgle. That might have been a bit far. Quaid is there. Starlin will set it over. Quaid bumps out just barely too low. CRU's up by 1 now. 4 points to go, I think. You don't really know how it ends till it's over. That's the intensity this gives. Quaid receives. Starting with a set, and Rosendahl will tap that one over. Maybe a weak spike. Quaid goes for the dig, but that's a good, well-placed spike. CRU up by 2 now. They should have just 3 to go. Serving once again is Woodhull. Quaid receives. That one will go just barely over. DeWitt is there to execute. Lancers really need a point here if they want to win. That's a timeout call by Coach Nauman for the Lancers. Whichever team wins this deserves it. CRU is looking to be up right now. They have just 2 points to go, and they're in a decent position, but one good server in for the Lancers on a point, and it could be all over, and in Lancers' favor. It's got to be 15. Our Lancers athletics director is closing the doors to the gym. It's what you do when you know it's getting real late. It's 9:10 right now. We have been broadcasting this game for 2 hours. I think. That sounds about right. That's pretty wild, though. And I've gone through about 6 different bottles of water just to keep my voice from dying. Violet Woodhull now with a serve. She's cleared to serve. Gurgle there to receive. Starlin bumps it. Nobody is there, but Rosendahl gets there in time. DeWitt, excellent attempt at a kill, but Gurgle is there to save it. That's Lancer point. Down only by 2 now. We saw this come up in the CRU game. And Larson serving. Larson's been a phenomenal server tonight. She is going to send that one back to Samaro. DeWitt there to set it over. Starland receives. Gurgle goes for a deep spike. Woodhull is back there. DeWitt goes for a kill, and that is good. The CRU just needs 1 point now, I believe. Williams coming in now for Larson. Unless it's 25. It might be 25. Either way, this is just as intense. If it isn't, this might as well be the last point right here. Serve from Blazak. Sneaks over the net. Starland, close serve. That one's going to just barely roll over. Starland is there. Starland going to go for a spike, received by Blazak. And that one is going to fall right into the coach's arms. Down by 2 now. And Rosendahl should be serving here. Never mind. Green is coming in for her. Green has been the starting server for Lancers all these games. And if it's 14-12 and you're starting servers back in, that goes to show just how close it's been. That's going to be a serve out of bounds. And it was indeed only to 15. That means CRU will take it away 15-12 in the very last game of the night. Thank you to anyone who decided to tune in for this broadcast. This was William Sitto behind the camera, Uriah Wales behind the microphone. And I thank each and every one of you for coming here to enjoy this completely awesome game. Congratulations to CRU for the win. And that was a very nice game played by the Lancers as well. Neither of these teams have anything to be disappointed about tonight. Signing out, we hope to see you tune in again for the first home varsity game on Thursday. I don't know if there's another C team or JV game before that, but we hope to see every one of you Lancers fans then. Good night for now. Signing off.